Special highlight there for you. Time for some mic drops.
Eye candy.
Santa Mom, all right? How about that picture? Look at that. Dropping the mic. All right, so, Mike T, your first mic drop is about the Chiefs.
The Kansas City Chiefs, Alan, will be dramatically better on offense. They got Josh Simmons, who would have been a top 10 left tackle had he been healthy. When you think about air yards last year, Patrick Mahomes was 30th. With Xavier Worthy, a healthy Hollywood Brown, and when Rashee Rice comes back from suspension, this team will be explosive. They will be a lot better on that side of the ball.
Chiefs being an explosive offense. Shocking. Your next one is about a team that could surprise some people in the NFC. Who's this team?
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We don't talk about them enough. Over the last 2 years, Baker Mayfield has led the NFL with 69 TD passes, and Hembo's stats unbelievable. 51 of them were in 11 personnel. Bart, that's 3 wide receivers. And when you think about Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and Emeka Egbuka, this offense could be even better. I think we're sleeping on Tampa Bay, and in particular, their offense.
Baker Mayfield, a top 10 quarterback? Perhaps.
Yes,
Last one, Mike T. A rookie quarterback that should get the start for their team would be?
Guys, Shedeur Sanders, this is a no-brainer.
Really?
Wait, Jeff, I want you to take some copious notes here. Since 2000, there's only been 6 quarterbacks start a game under 6 feet tall. That's Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Bryce Young, P.J. Walker, Seneca Wallace, and Doug Flutie. Exactly. So to me, even though Dylan Gabriel won in the 3rd round, I would start Shedeur Sanders, let him fight it out on the field. But to me, Shedeur Sanders has the better pro body and more of an upside.
I promise everybody this is about to get really good. But first, you got to hear this. At camp, Shedeur was asked why he isn't getting any first-team reps. And this was his response.
Why aren't you getting any reps with the ones at any point?
I don't think that's not my place, to answer, to even be able to give the answer to that. I feel like it's not in my control. So I'm not even gonna think about that or have that even in my thought process of why it is. Like, there's a lot of people that want to have the opportunity to be at this level, and I'm here and I'm thankful to have the opportunity. So whenever that is, it is.
So Jeff was
What a
pounding his
mature
head.
response.
It was actually very
A
impressive.
mature human.
Great answer.
Yeah, no, he's certainly ready for this part of it, but you were just pounding your head on the desk after Mike was talking about how he should start. But before we get into that debate, what are you hearing, or are you hearing anything about that Browns quarterback competition? Because there's a lot of guys in that room.
Yeah, just to kind of give you an understanding of where things are at right now. By the way, some news to this. Kenny Pickett dealing with a hamstring issue that actually could open this up and settle this debate right now, because to this point, Joe Flacco has been getting the first team reps. Kenny Pickett also getting some of those. The rookie's really not getting much in terms of first team reps at all. Shedeur Sanders getting some second team reps, but I think the concern here is that Shedeur Sanders is not getting all the first team reps. Why isn't he the starting quarterback yet? I mean, why would he not be the starting quarterback, Alan?
So look, if we
Mike believes he should be,
and here's why.
Despite the fact that he was taken in the 15th round.
No, here's why, guys. If the 4 of us were running the Cleveland Browns, we have 2 first-round picks next year. We have Jacksonville and ours.
Yep.
And if I'm Andrew Berry, the GM, I'm looking at Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur and saying, hey, don't make me draft a quarterback. Do everything you can this year to prove we have our starting quarterback. Dylan Gabriel was an unbelievable college player. That's why he won in the 3rd round. But as I just mentioned, a height-deficient quarterback over 25 years, that is a lot of data to show it's hard to be an effective starter when you're sub 6 feet tall. Joe Flacco is a great bridge quarterback.
Look at these two together right now, by the way.
Yeah.
It looks like father and son.
No, it looks like twins.
Like I understand.
And-
The movie twins.
And
Now,
look-
Flacco's 6'5", 6'6", right, Bart? But
Yeah.
like, Gabriel looks small right there.
Yeah, you were. Last year you were worried about Jaden Daniels and his ability to take a hit. You worry about Gabriel as well, taking hits from NFL players.
But how much, just on the Shedeur Sanders stuff, should he be getting some first-team reps?
No, I want him pissed off. I want him upset. I want him motivated. I want him to feel slighted. I think this thing will work itself out when you consider the fact that Kenny Pickett, I think, is probably a candidate to be traded for somebody. I mean, I can see Kenny Pickett maybe getting traded to go down to Tennessee to try and give them a good backup or somebody that can back up Ward. But, I want Shedeur Sanders to sit back, but it's up to Gabriel or Shedeur to be able to prove that they can be a quality backup first. this thing will work itself out when preseason comes. Flacco's an older quarterback. He's not going to play those games. It's going to play itself out on the field. Let's see when the lights come on who can perform, who can play at a high level.
My only contention here with Mike T is that you were suggesting that you think that Shedeur Sanders should get first-team reps over Dillon Gabriel right now.
No, what I'm saying is when they battle it out, he is the better player.
Oh, you think that he'll just win the job?
Yes.
But who should get those first-team reps?
It should be decided on the field. They should both get them. But to me, in no short.
But can you do that with 4 quarterbacks?
Well, I don't need Joe Flacco to take a lot of reps. I know what he is. He's a bridge quarterback. Kenny Pickett's already hurt. I would throw Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur out there, and to me, in pretty short order, Shedeur would win the job.
Well, that's where it's going to take place. It's going to take place in the preseason games because now people treat the inter squad practices as their preparation for their starters. So we'll see them, on game day. We'll see them battle it out, and we'll see who, the cream rises to the top.
And I think that's the thing for me. It's going to unveil itself. Like, we don't need to force feed Shedeur Sanders to everybody. I actually think that his response was the most mature thing that I've heard anybody say about Shedeur Sanders.
He said all the right things.
And it's not apples to apples, but if you go back, remember, Kirk Cousins was the 4th-round pick. RG3 was the 1st-round pick. Kirk Cousins just outplayed RG3 and got the job.
I'm just trying to defend hype-deficient people against
sitting next to Joe Flacco of broadcasters.
Yeah, I can't really defend any height-deficient people here at all.
The voice for the voiceless.
Sitting down next to Bart right now, his wallet's much bigger than mine. He probably looks bigger than me. How about we get to some eye candy? Speaking of Bart Scott, he's eye candy.
Skull Nation, what's up? It's Victor here with Report Vikings, and today, oh boy, we've got something spicy to talk about. Quarterback drama is bubbling in Cleveland, and guess what? The Minnesota Vikings might be ready to swoop in and shake things up. So let's break it down. Shedeur Sanders, Coach Prime's son, is in a logjam over there in Cleveland. The Browns have this super crowded quarterback room. Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dillon Gabriel, and Shedeur, 4 QBs. And guess who's not getting the love with the first team reps? Yup. Shedeur. Now, to be fair, he's been holding it down in the second team drills and actually had a better completion percentage than the other guys in some practices, but still no first team reps. He was asked about it and basically said, hey, it's out of my control. The dude's staying humble, staying focused. I respect that. But here's where it gets real interesting for us in Minnesota. There's talk, and I mean real buzz behind the scenes, that Shedeur is frustrated, and without a clear path in Cleveland, he's actually considering asking to be cut. You heard that right? And the top team reportedly interested in picking him up? Your Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, I'm serious. The Vikings are looking at Shedeur Sanders as a potential backup for J.J. McCarthy, or even a competitor for the starting job if McCarthy doesn't perform. Now look, don't get me wrong, I'm rooting hard for J.J. I want that kid to succeed. He's got all the tools, all the leadership qualities, but let's be honest, he's unproven at the NFL level. He hasn't taken a snap in a regular season game, so there's nothing wrong with having real competition behind him. And Shedeur. Man, this kid was a baller in college. Over 3,200 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, and just 3 picks in his final season at Colorado. Behind one of the worst O-lines in the Power 5, too. He's mobile, poised, accurate under pressure. And don't forget the intangibles. This kid's been under the spotlight his entire life. That confidence isn't fake. Adding Shedeur could change the QB room dynamics completely. You'd have McCarthy starting, Shedeur pushing him, and Nick Mullins possibly sliding to QB3 or even being dealt to a QB-needy team. It adds serious depth and gives us a contingency plan if things go sideways early in the season. And from a locker room standpoint, Shedeur is already showing maturity. He's not whining, he's not causing drama, even when being overlooked. And man, tell me that swagger wouldn't fit perfectly with what Kevin O'Connell's trying to build in Minnesota. Yeah, he got pulled over for speeding a couple times. Over 100 pieces, not great, but hey, he laughed it off and said he doesn't even drive that much anymore. Look, he's young. The important thing is, he's learning, not letting it define him. And we're not talking about bringing him in as the face of the franchise right now. We're talking about upside, competition, and options. All things this team could use more of under center. So here's my take. Vikings fans, if Shedeur is serious about leaving Cleveland and we can get him, do it. No hesitation. Bring him in, let him compete, and may the best man win. Worst case, we have a young, talented backup. Best case, we find out JJ has to fight a little harder, and maybe even unlocks a whole new level. Either way, the Vikings win. But hey, that's just me. What do you think? Should the Vikings go all in and bring in Shedeur Sanders? Would you trust him to push McCarthy? Let me know in the comments. Hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily Vikings updates. Skull Nation, I'll catch y'all in the next one.